Hello, friends! Have you ever jolted awake in the middle of the night, clutching your leg because of a sharp, agonizing cramp? We get it. That pain, the sleepless nights, and the nagging worry that your legs just aren't what they used to be. It's frustrating when you can't walk around comfortably or do the things you love, and it might even feel like your independence is slipping away. So why does this happen? As we age, our muscles lose strength, blood flow slows down, and our bodies miss out on key nutrients they desperately need. But here's the good news. You don't have to live with this forever. Today, we're unveiling 5 incredible foods that can strengthen your legs, stop those cramps in their tracks. And trust us, the secret behind the 5th one will blow your mind. Welcome to Golden Age Health, where we're all about helping you stay strong, independent, and thriving in your golden years, with our motto, Thrive in your golden years. Before we dive in, drop a comment below. When do those pesky leg cramps hit you the most? We'd love to hear your story. All right, let's start with something we all know and love: eggs. They might seem simple, but we've found they can do wonders for keeping our legs feeling strong and those cramps at bay as we enjoy our golden years. Each egg brings about 6 grams of protein to the table, which helps us rebuild our muscles after a busy day. Plus, there's around 40 IU of vitamin D in there, giving our bodies a little nudge to soak up calcium so our bones and legs stay in step. Most of us over 60 could use about 800 to 1,000 IU of vitamin D daily to feel our best, and eggs are one easy way to get a bit closer to that. Here's something we've noticed. Eggs also have choline, roughly 125 milligrams per egg. And that seems to help our nerves send the right signals to our legs so they don't cramp up out of nowhere. Why does this feel so important? Well, as we get older, our muscles might not be as tough as they once were, and sometimes our nerves get a bit jittery, leaving us with those annoying cramps that wake us up or slow us down. It's tough when our legs make it harder to enjoy a walk around the block or a game with the grandkids. Eggs, though, seem to step in with a helping hand, offering a boost to muscle repair and nerve health that might just keep those cramps quieter. We talked to Mary, a 68-year-old from Ohio, who's seen this for herself. She used to lie in bed worrying about her legs tightening up almost every night. It felt like I couldn't escape it, she shared with us. Then she decided to toss a couple of eggs into her mornings, maybe scrambled one day, boiled the next, whatever felt right. After about a week, she noticed things shifting. "I'm out watering my roses again, and I'm sleeping better than I have in ages," she told us with a grin. We've read that choline might ease muscle tiredness by as much as 15%, which could mean more energy for the things we love. The protein in eggs also seems to help with that muscle loss we sometimes face as we age, what folks call sarcopenia. So we can keep doing what matters to us, like staying on our feet and feeling free. So, how can we make eggs part of our days? It's pretty straightforward, really. A lot of folks say having 6 or 7 eggs a week works well for most of us. No big cholesterol worries unless our doctor suggests otherwise. We could pair them with things like a glass of fortified milk or a short stroll in the sunshine to get more of that vitamin D we need. If mornings get hectic, we might boil a few eggs over the weekend and keep them handy in the fridge for a quick bite. Or here's an idea we like. Scramble a couple with some spinach. It's a tasty way to give our legs a little extra love. If we're keeping an eye on blood sugar, a slice of whole grain toast alongside could keep things nice and steady. Eggs feel like a small change that might make a real difference for our legs. Why not give them a try and see how it goes? Next on our list is bananas, those bright, cheerful fruits that might just add a little pep to how our legs feel every day. We've all enjoyed a banana now and then, but they seem to have a special way of keeping our muscles calm and those cramps from creeping in while we make the most of our golden years. Each one offers about 420 milligrams of potassium, which could help our muscles stay relaxed and ready to move without fuss. Most of us over 60 might find 2,600 to 3,400 milligrams of potassium a day keeps things humming along, and bananas are a sweet, simple way to pitch in toward that. What's neat about bananas is they bring more than just potassium to the table. They've got folate, around 24 micrograms per fruit, which might give our blood a little nudge to flow better, so our legs don't feel so heavy or stiff. Ever notice how our legs can get restless or twitchy, especially when we're trying to wind down at night? That might happen when potassium dips a bit low, leaving us tossing and turning instead of resting easy. Bananas could step in here with a natural boost, helping things settle down so we wake up feeling fresher. Plus, there's a touch of vitamin B6 in there, about 0.4 milligrams, and some folks say that might ease up the inflammation that leaves our legs achy after a busy day or a good walk. We've read that potassium might trim those pesky nighttime cramps by as much as 20% over a month or so, which could mean more peaceful nights for us. Bananas aren't some big, complicated answer. They're just an easy, tasty piece of the puzzle. Think about those moments when our legs feel a little off. Maybe after a long afternoon out or a stretch of sitting. That's where bananas might lend a hand, offering a bit of calm and energy to keep us going. They've got natural sugars, too, about 14 grams per fruit, that could give us a gentle lift without weighing us down, especially if we're feeling a bit sluggish. We've found they're one of those snacks that might leave us smiling, ready to tackle whatever's next, whether it's a chat with friends or a quiet evening at home. So how can we fit bananas into our days? It's about as straightforward as it gets, and there are plenty of ways to enjoy them. One banana a day feels right for a lot of us, maybe two if our legs are grumbling after a big outing. We could peel one in the afternoon for a quick pick-me-up or grab one before bed to help us ease into sleep. If we're keeping an eye on sugar, tossing in a few nuts or a piece of whole grain toast alongside might keep things nice and even. Here's something we like. Slice a banana into a bowl of oatmeal with a drizzle of honey. It's a warm, happy bite that could give our legs some extra care. Or if we're in the mood for a treat, blending it with a splash of coconut water makes a quick smoothie. A refreshing way to hydrate and maybe keep those cramps from sneaking up. Bananas feel like a little burst of sunshine we can carry with us. Why not try one and see if it lifts our legs a bit? All right, let's move on to almonds. Those little nuts that might just give our legs a reason to smile. We've all had them as a snack, but it turns out they've got a lot going for them when it comes to keeping our muscles relaxed and cramps out of the picture. A small handful, in about an ounce or so, brings around 77 milligrams of magnesium to the table, which seems to help ease up those tight spots in our legs. On top of that, they're packed with healthy fats that might keep our blood moving smoothly. For most of us over 60, that's a big deal. Good circulation can mean the difference between legs that feel light and ones that get cranky after a walk or a day on our feet. What's so great about magnesium? Well, we've noticed it's like a quiet helper for our muscles. It might calm them down when they're feeling overworked or ready to spasm. If our legs get stiff or achy, especially after being up and about, that could be a sign they're asking for a little more of this stuff. Almonds also toss in some vitamin E, about 7.3 milligrams per ounce, and that might lend a hand in keeping our muscles from wearing out too fast. We've come across some folks saying higher magnesium intake could cut down muscle spasms by as much as 30% for people our age, which sounds like a pretty good reason to keep a stash of these handy. And those healthy fats? They're the kind that might help our blood flow better, so our legs don't feel like they're dragging us down. Now, we're not saying almonds are some magic fix. They're just one piece of the puzzle. But they sure seem to fit nicely into our days. Picture this. After a morning of chores or a stroll around the neighborhood, our legs might feel a bit grumpy. That's where almonds could step in, offering a little boost to keep things steady. They've got a bit of protein too, about 6 grams per ounce, which might team up with that magnesium to help our muscles bounce back. Plus, they're easy to love, crunchy, satisfying, and no fuss. We've found they might even make us feel a little more energized for whatever's next, whether it's tackling the garden or just kicking back with a good book. How can we work almonds into our routine? It's about as simple as it gets. A handful a day, maybe 20 or so almonds, feels like a sweet spot for most of us. We could toss them into a baggie for an afternoon pick-me-up or sprinkle them over a salad if we're sitting down for a meal. Here's something we enjoy. Lightly roast them with a pinch of cinnamon. It's a warm, cozy flavor that might make our legs thank us. If we're watching salt, sticking to raw or unsalted ones could keep things easy on our system. And if chewing's ever a bother, we could try a spoonful of almond butter on a cracker. Same goodness, just a softer bite. Almonds feel like a small, tasty way to give our legs some extra care. Why not see if they perk us up a bit? Now let's talk about sweet potatoes. Those warm, colorful tubers that might just bring a little extra oomph to our legs. We've all seen them at the table, especially around the holidays. But they seem to have a knack for keeping our muscles steady and cramps from popping up as we enjoy our golden years. One medium sweet potato, about the size of our fist, offers close to 500 milligrams of potassium, which could help our legs stay calm and ready for whatever we've got planned. Most of us over 60 might find that 2,600 to 3,400 milligrams of potassium a day keeps things feeling smooth, and sweet potatoes are a cozy, tasty way to pitch in toward that. What's really nice about sweet potatoes is they've got more going on than just potassium. They're loaded with beta-carotene, around 14,000 micrograms in one, and that might help ease up the inflammation that can make our legs feel stiff or sore. Ever feel like our legs just give out too soon, maybe after a trip to the store or a bit of yard work? That could be our muscles asking for a steadier fuel source, and sweet potatoes might answer with their slow-burning carbs, about 26 grams per tuber, that could keep us going without a crash. We've come across some ideas that beta-carotene might trim down joint stiffness by as much as 25%, which could mean easier steps and less grumbling from our knees or ankles. Plus, they've got a bit of fiber, around 4 grams, that might help us feel full and keep things moving inside, so we're not slowed down by a sluggish system. Sweet potatoes aren't some fancy cure-all. They're just a hearty, down-to-earth option that fits right into our days. Think about those times when our legs feel a little wobbly or tired, maybe after a morning of errands or a stretch of standing. That's where sweet potatoes could lend a hand, offering a mix of energy and calm that might keep us on our feet a bit longer. They've got a natural sweetness, about 7 grams of sugar per potato, that could perk us up without feeling heavy, especially on days when we need a lift. We've noticed they might even make us feel a little more grounded, ready to take on a walk with a friend, or just enjoy a quiet afternoon without our legs complaining. So, how can we weave sweet potatoes into our routine? It's pretty easy, and there are some fun ways to play with them. One a day, or even a few times a week, feels like a good fit for a lot of us. We could bake one up for lunch or dinner, maybe with a pat of butter or a sprinkle of salt to bring out that flavor. If we're short on time, popping one in the microwave for a few minutes works just fine. No fuss at all. Here's something we enjoy. Mash it with a dash of nutmeg or cinnamon. It's a warm, comforting bite that might give our legs a little extra love. Or, if we're feeling like mixing things up, we could slice them into wedges, roast them with a touch of olive oil, and enjoy them as a side. A tasty way to fuel up. Sweet potatoes feel like a hug from the kitchen that might keep us moving strong. Why not give them a try and see how they sit with us? And now let's wrap up with something special: salmon. This fish might just be the surprise boost our legs have been waiting for as we make the most of our golden years. It's got a lot going for it, starting with omega-3s. About 2,000 milligrams in a 4-ounce serving. That could help soothe the inflammation that sometimes creeps into our muscles and joints. On top of that, there's a hefty dose of vitamin D, around 570 international units per serving, which might give our bones and legs a little extra strength to keep us moving. Most of us over 60 could use about 800 to 1,000 IU of vitamin D a day to feel steady, and salmon swims in with a big chunk of that in one tasty bite. What's so great about salmon? Well, we've noticed it might tackle some of those sneaky aches that slow us down. Inflammation can build up over time, leaving our legs feeling sore or stiff, maybe after a day of errands or just sitting a bit too long. Those omega-3s seem to step in like a quiet friend, possibly easing that discomfort so we can get back to what we enjoy. We've read that they might cut muscle soreness by as much as 35% for folks our age, which could mean less grumbling from our legs after a walk or a stretch of activity. And that vitamin D, it's like a teammate for our muscles, helping them stay strong and maybe keeping those cramps from popping up when we least expect it. Plus, salmon's got some protein, about 25 grams per serving, that could team up with all that goodness to help our legs recover and feel ready for the next day. Salmon isn't some big, flashy solution. It's just a flavorful option that might fit nicely into our weeks. Think about those moments when our legs feel a little off. Maybe a twinge here or there that makes us pause. That's where salmon could lend a hand, offering a mix of calm and power that might keep us going strong. It's got a richness, about 13 grams of healthy fats per serving, that could leave us feeling satisfied without being heavy, especially on days when we need a bit of a lift. We've found it might even make us feel a little more up for whatever's ahead, whether it's a trip to see the grandkids or just kicking back with a sunset view. So how can we bring salmon into our days? It's simpler than it might sound, and there are some easy ways to enjoy it. One serving a week, or even every couple of weeks, feels like a good rhythm for a lot of us. We could grill it up for dinner with a squeeze of lemon and a sprinkle of herbs. It's a fresh, light flavor that doesn't take much effort. If we're short on time, a can of salmon tossed into a salad or spread on a cracker works just as well. No cooking needed. Here's something we like. Bake it with a touch of garlic and a side of veggies. It's a warm, hearty meal that might give our legs some extra care. Or if we're feeling a bit fancy, we could try it pan-seared with a drizzle of olive oil, a treat that's still simple enough for any night. Salmon feels like a little gift from the sea that might keep us moving with a smile. Why not see if it adds a little spark to our legs? So there we have it, 5 wonderful foods that might just give our legs the boost they've been looking for. We've talked about eggs with their protein and vitamin D to help our muscles and nerves stay in tune. Then there's bananas, bringing potassium and a bit of folate to keep things calm and flowing. Almonds popped in with magnesium and healthy fats that could ease stiffness and keep our circulation humming. Sweet potatoes offered up potassium and beta-carotene, maybe giving us steady energy and less achiness. And salmon wrapped it up with omega-3s and more vitamin D, possibly soothing inflammation and powering us up. Together, these might be a tasty way to keep our legs feeling strong and those cramps from sneaking into our days or nights. We're not saying these foods will change everything overnight. They're just simple, everyday options that could fit into our lives and make a difference over time. Imagine how it might feel to step out for a walk, tend to the garden, or just enjoy a quiet moment without our legs grumbling at us. That's what we're all about here at Golden Age Health, finding little ways to help us stay active, independent, and ready to thrive in your golden years. It's not about big promises. It's about giving ourselves a chance to feel a bit better, one bite at a time. Why not pick one of these to try this week? Maybe some scrambled eggs tomorrow or a banana before bed, and see how it sits with us. We've put a lot of heart into digging up these ideas for you, and we'd love to hear what you think. If any of this feels helpful, or even if it sparks a question, drop us a comment below. What's one food you're curious to try for your legs? Maybe you've got a favorite way to enjoy salmon or sweet potatoes. We're all ears. We've found that sharing these little tips with each other can make our days even brighter. And if you're up for it, we'd be so grateful if you'd hit that like button. It helps us spread the word to more folks who might need a lift. Sharing this with a friend or family member could brighten their day too. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to Golden Age Health and tap that bell. We've got more ideas coming your way to keep us thriving together. Here's to stronger legs and happier moments. We'll see you in the next one.